Time to get interactive, and Aisha Ibrahim has joined me. Hello, Aisha.
Hello, Israel. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter to you too.
Thank you. I don't celebrate Easter too.
I know.
But join the conversation on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We are on Joy News on TV. On WhatsApp, the number is on 0266047417. And it's Easter Friday. Happy Easter to all Christians. This Easter, we've been campaigning massively against road accidents. So as you get excited with Easter activities, we're asking you to take a minute and reflect on how you can contribute to an accident-free Easter. Listen to some advice from the street.
Easter doesn't necessarily mean you should go out to go and drink and then drive carelessly. To me, Easter means you have a day off, sit at home, thank God with your family. If you do not have maybe any family, you can sit down, call guys, and then have your own maybe small party or maybe play games at home. Well, sometimes you may go out, you may not drive carelessly, but with someone's carelessness, that you can involve in an accident. So what I advise is that maybe like sometimes you drinking, like when you drink alcohol, it makes you to do something that you might not be aware of at that particular moment. So we should be moderate in drinking alcohol. That is, if you cannot afford not to drink at all, you should be moderate. And also in partying too, we should remember that there's life after the partying. So what we should do is that when we go out to party, it should be moderate. It shouldn't be that I'm partying today and that is all. No.
I would want to appeal to the general public to be very careful, because in this season accidents are prone to happen. But if you are cautious, the people, they say when you drive, don't drink, and when you drink, don't drive. That should be something that we should all watch out for. If you know you are drunk, park and call someone to take you home. But be mindful you don't drive drunk.
And of course, we posted this on Facebook and it's generated a number of comments. Seth Nanakwiti Jr. says, I will encourage all drivers to use defensive and offensive driving skills as their full-time job. Offensive, you say?
I'm not sure about that. But yeah. Jeremiah says, I'm on passengers speak up, and if you drink, don't drive, and if you drive, don't drink campaign. I will always alert the driver whenever I notice that he's overspeeding. I will never also fight them, drivers in a moving vehicle. Happy Easter to all Christians around the world. Kwame says, then let me share this. I live around Dansoman last stop. I've been going to the beach for the past 3 days, and I have to say the sea level is really high with heavy waves, especially during the day. And I heard unconfirmed reports that 4 people have drowned this afternoon. Please, if you can talk to authorities to stop people from going there or monitor the sea, the level, that may save lives. Okay, thank you very much for sharing that with us. And Nuhu Swale says, until you, the media houses, stop hyping the season with your kwewu, these accidents will not stop. Oh, no, that's unfair. Pia Kusi says, the bloody hilarious constitution disappears. I can't understand the reason why Kufuor decorated 7th January as Rawlings constitutional holiday. Okay, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, so let's move on. Aisha, do you have any WhatsApp?
All right, so we'll still be monitoring the conversation, as you're saying in your messages. As and when I'm able to pick them, I would read them. But also, Senior Minister Osafo Maafo has been justifying his comments on Aisha Wang's arrest, which got many angry. The Senior Minister has been criticized for saying that jailing Aisha Wang wouldn't have solved Ghana's economic challenges. Well, on his Facebook page, he's been explaining what he meant as that the matter of prosecution had been dealt with by a court of competent jurisdiction, and that Ghanaians should focus on the economic gains of government and how best we can consolidate the gains, and it goes on and on and on. But that has also generated a lot of comments. Let's check that out. And it generated as many as okay. So Prince Minka said, meant to say and what he said, how do we reconcile and figure out the honesty bit? Opoku Dakwa says, your explanation isn't different from what the senior minister said. This really tells how hopeless, oh, okay, that's a bit harsh. It would be without the Sino-Hydro's money. In fact, the 53% who voted for you thought they were voting for experienced people to come and control the affairs of the country, but never knew this will happen. If I listen to the senior minister in his office as well, all that they want us to believe is that because of the $2 billion, our laws must be overlooked. The president and his appointees are failing us. Rudy Quay says, as if we cannot read and understand, very soon we shall see who the power belongs to.
And Duncan says Ghanaians contribute freely, over $10 billion in taxes annually, yet they get arrested and imprisoned even for the stealing of cassava. Yet the whole senior minister is telling all of us the highest that Chinese have given a loan of $2 billion, so they are suddenly above the laws of this land. The highest bidder wins AMPA. And Kwame Wedi says, nice try, cheer. If you have any advice, give it to the old man. What's the point of having aged men in the government if they are incapable of showing wisdom in their reasoning, actions, and utterances? What's the point of having these old men in government if they lack the wisdom to understand the need to uphold and defend Ghana and not to sell our country to anyone with non-black skin? But if we go to the very top, at the very top of the comments, we have one long one again by the office of the senior minister. It says, the simple and straightforward message is that how long should Ghanaians go on ranting and groaning on this issue of the Chinese woman who has been deported whilst there are huge economic challenges to deal with? The government is working tirelessly to bring development to the people of Ghana, and this issue must not drag us back. This was the simple logic and explanation provided by the senior minister at the forum. Sadly, some media outlets believe twisted news, which they call bad news sells, and so they latch onto it, couch their own understanding, and allow discerning minds to rain insults on great people in Ghana who have seen it all and pushed Ghana to the level we found ourselves now. It took the vice president as chair of the EMT, the senior minister as vice chair, the members of EMT, ministers of state and others to work towards a growth rate, Ghana exiting from the IMF, among other innovative ideas being executed under this regime. Ghana needs to move forward and no past issues should drag us back. Let's say no twisted media commentary and move, let's say no to twisted media commentary and move forward as a nation. Development of Ghana is key on the agenda of the president, the vice president, and the senior minister is in full support and working towards that agenda. May God help our homeland Ghana. Happy Easter to all.
And if you look at the response just beneath it, is it the old man typing all these or some young confused chap? This doesn't look like it is coming from an old skull. All right.
And this is not going to help. I mean, I'm sure that it's going to continue, continue to rant.
But of course, I don't get the media bit because people listen to the senior minister speaking. In fact, it's not like we wrote it or somebody else was saying it for the senior minister. He said it himself from the horse's own mouth. So I really don't get the media bit. But this one, Kofi Seidu, he says, is it Aisha Wang who is giving us the $2 billion for the Sino-Hydro deal or the government of China? If the president is really committed to fighting this Galamsey menace, then the senior minister should be booted out of office with immediate effect because his comments are offensive. That's how we draw the curtains on Joy News Interactive. Happy Easter to you all.
Yes, sir.